Good evening, friends. This is time for the trade wrap of 11th of Feb 2020. Now, before we get started, would like to request you to like, share, subscribe this channel, and if you are interested, you can join our join button services, which has platinum, diamond, gold, silver, copper, etc. And they have calls starting from index to swing to day trades to portfolio, etc. So that way there is a very specific uh, agenda for each one of these buttons. So if you have questions, call 9871066337 or email ashwani_gujral@yahoo.com. Now let's get started with first the S&P 500. I think global markets, including India, are kind of ranging right now. If you see S&P 500, I think from 5th of Feb, you basically have some kind of a range which you can draw here, and the market is, generally speaking, trying to move sideways, and most of the days are doji style days. So similar action we are seeing here in India. So these are the sort of doji days that we had on the S&P 500. The markets worldwide are contracting. Nifty today had a decent move, and decent, I'm saying relatively 50-60 points, but you still had a green candle. Most of it was due to the movement in RIL, and the question is that it moved 80 points to take the market hardly 60 points higher. But be that as it may, it is likely that we get towards 245, 250 at some point, and the idea is that you have this range, and we go here, we consolidate, and then we move up further. Obviously, we need some sort of global help to do that, but that is the roadmap we need to have. Now, what is the interesting bit? That is something I want to discuss today, is the bank nifty. See, this kind of a scenario I had seen when bank nifty was at 31, was at about 30,000, 29,500 thereabouts. And this upper end of the range at that time used to be, I think, 30,000. And finally, on one of the days, when Bank Nifty broke out above this intermediate resistance of you know 30,000, it went to the upper end of the range. Now the premise I'm talking about is that if the Nifty gets to the upper end of the range, there is no way the Bank Nifty can sit at the lower end of the range, and it's likely to have a catapult effect on one of the upcoming days. You will find the Bank Nifty moving 500, 700 points in a single day. So the sort of contraction we have here, Bank Nifty today had an inside day. And an inside day often leads to an explosive kind of move. So we look at the daily chart. This is the inside day, very narrow range. This sort of narrow range is unsustainable, and we should soon look for an expansion. Now, everybody seems to be saying that the Bank Nifty is weak. Had it been weak, we would have broken through the lower end of the range, but it somehow is surviving that. And as and when it starts to move up, the shorts are there in such numbers at 36,000 and all the way up that you will find the short covering of your life out here. If you want to just look at some of the banks, this is State Bank of India. Very narrow range, but it's not giving up ground. This is HDFC Bank. Again, nothing significant. ICICI Bank, very narrow range. So it's only a matter of time when the trend makes these guys break out again. So going by this logic, I see a bigger opportunity. This is Kotak in the Bank Nifty than I see in the Nifty, because the catch-up act will happen in the Bank Nifty. We've seen NBFCs have moved up very strongly. The chances are now banks will also do a catch-up. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week. Let's look at what were the calls we gave today. Reliance Industries, you know, it had a strong 4% type move. At the open, it started to cross previous session high, and we bought near this 1985 type of zone, and it just went on and on. And, we got most of the gain on RIL. So nice trending day if you got on early. The other calls we had were Shriram Transport, which was the uh, swing call that was given yesterday. And you can see here sharp upside, moving sideways. So what we are planning for is the next level swing. So this was the other swing call. I think one call we gave on You can't find that. Anyway, we gave Larsen and Toubro Finance as a swing call. I can't find it here. And along with the rest of the NBFC rally, this one did fairly well. This was another swing call that we gave. So overall, the market is looking at financials, but NBFCs and smaller NBFCs, because of the takeover action we've seen on the smaller NBFCs, the Magma FinCorp getting taken over. Sun Pharma was the other day trading call which did well today. Again, strong upside, then a sideways move, and then it blasts on the upside. So this is the kind of pattern that you have to follow on a daily basis. So these were some of the individual stocks we gave uh, early in the during the day as BTST, Sun Pharma, and L&T Finance. We've carried Nifty. I had mentioned 15,080 being a key zone, and what you can see here is that early morning we tested 15,080, and from there this huge rally started. But again, the best rally will happen beyond 15,250. That is something people need to wait for, and I would think that that is likely to happen once global markets come out of their rut. So FII buying 900 odd crores, not too much, but again, in quiet markets, people start to sit on their hands. So what we've taken home is, Bank Nifty calls of 36,300. The expectation is that we could get some sort of a gap up above 36,000, and out there you'll see massive short covering because lots of calls are written there. I expect short covering where people are negative, where they are not expecting too much, and that is a feature of the bank nifty particularly. So that should be it. Take care, trade well, and please consult your financial advisor.